This morning, joining us to discuss about how to cope in a challenging economy is the founder of Money Africa, OluwaTosin Olaseinde. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Tosin, you don't look like this economy is touching you.
Not,
Are we in Nigeria?
We're trying to stay optimistic.
This economy is not.
No, it's not affecting you.
Look at,
It's not affecting you. Let's get into the meat of what the conversation is about, really. Without looking at the theory and the economics of it, the average Nigerian can agree that things aren't going as planned. But let's go back to the beginning of President Bola Tinubu's time in office. What would be your thoughts on the initial policies? Of course, the first one was the removal of fuel subsidy and then the unification of the exchange rate market. So how would you say this impacted, where we are today?
What we're saying now is that, you saw the removal of the fuel, of the subsidy, and you're seeing that the price in the cost of fuel has gone up. It's affecting people. You're also seeing the other one. You also see electricity tariffs, people in Band A, eating into their purchasing power. So what we're actually seeing now is this. People's income is not rising. We're seeing a depreciation of the naira. And the purchasing power of their income is also going down. So it's like coming from all angles and everything happening at once. What could be done? Could they have staged it and maybe not done everything at the same time so that it could have been gradual and we would not feel the impact all at once? I would have said, I'll go ahead with staging and not putting everything happening at once. Depreciation of the naira, unification of the currency, removal of fuel subsidy, increase in electricity tariffs, everything just happening at once was like, it's a lot, right? And people are feeling it, the layman. And guess what? It's not just the low income earners. You're seeing the low middle income earners, you're seeing the high income.
Middle income earners anymore. It just
exactly.
feels like there's a
wide gap, and the gap is dissipating. They did a survey the other time when they're looking at the number of millionaire in dollars in Nigeria, and guess what? It has shrunk by 45%. So it's not just a case of the low-income earners. Even the millionaire in dollars are seeing a dip. Many of them do not have that status anymore. So it's affecting everyone. Like they say, last, you go touch everybody.
Yeah.
You go touch everyone, and that's what's happening right now.
I think the theme song, Burna Boy's Everybody Go Chop Breakfast, is quite timely for the situation we find ourselves. However, I do recall that if someone had about 3 million in their account 2 years ago, you could actually boast that you do have 3 million. And with the recent saying 3 million in this current dispensation actually looks like you have 1.2 million, which has actually gone down. The price of egg is now 5,000 naira per crate. The big question everybody is asking, economists and people like you who take time to break down these issues are we ever going to see it come down? Is there going to be an equilibrium? Are we going to breathe at last?
So a few consulting firms have said that they feel like the true value of the naira is 950 naira to the dollar. Some people say that, some other economists and consultancy groups are saying that they're looking at 1,200 naira to the dollar. These are all the things that they're saying. They're saying based on if the government does X, Y, or Z, looking at policies. Let's look at food, for instance. The tariffs on food. Could they perhaps take off the border, let there be a better inflow of food, reducing the tariffs on those things? They're looking at if the government does X, Y, Z, can we see the naira to the dollar go down? Those are things that they're proposing, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Now, I want us to bring the individuals and the businesses into the conversation and see how, we can adjust, make amends, and make the best of the situation and the reality that we found ourselves. First of all, do you even see the dollar going below 1,000 naira? I don't see it. Do you see that happening?
I'm thinking 1,200 as well. I'm aligning with the consultancy group that is saying 1,200. They do certain things.
Right. Okay, great. So let's talk about how individuals, before we come to the businesses, in this season, how can individuals make the best of their finances? Is this time to still be talking about savings and investment when people are actually looking for money to feed? So
I'd like to look at it from two angles. The one that I can control and the one that I cannot control. I love to tell our community members, remember, you're not the central bank governor. You're not the Minister of Finance. There's really not so much you can do about the inflation rate. It's not within your power, right? So the things that I cannot control, the news headline, the prices, all those things, I cannot control it. What can I control? Number one, and we say it all the time, we want our people to stay optimistic. How you see the things right now is very important. It affects your mood, your productivity, your contribution, and things like that. We want to stay ahead of the game. We want to stay positive. Number two, you have to be honest with yourself. We're going back to the pen and paper, writing everything down. What is my income? What does my income look like? How are my expenses looking like? What am I spending on? Now it's time to also get very ruthless. We're seeing people are stepping away from brand loyalty. So if X can give me something and another Y can give me, and it's similar, it might not be the same thing. It might be slightly different. You see people downgrading in brands and things like that. no more customer loyalty right now. You have to be loyal to yourself and to your pocket. You are looking at all those things. Many a time, sometimes people don't even know the price of things that they used to buy, but now everybody is going around pen and paper. You are tracking everything. Number two, this is the time to start cutting off excesses. It's so unfair that the man on the street, you and I, everyone is cutting their expenses and the government is not doing the same thing, but we have to do it. What are the things that I can let go of? Did I used to go out like twice a week? Can I cut it down? What are the things eating out and things like that? Now, we also have to remind ourselves that for a lot of people, there's actually really not much to cut. You are seeing some people from 3 meals a day, they are going down to 2 meals a day. They're actually cutting down on their necessity. About 60% of the income of the average Nigerian is going towards food. And what can they do about the price of food in the market? So sometimes you really just have to cut out some things that are essential just for you to stay afloat. So staying afloat right now is everybody's priority.
Wow.
These points of yours, I mean, they're meant not to confuse you, but to convince you that we can survive, right? I'm talking to the audience now. But let's look at individuals.
Yes.
I'm going to put a two-way question to you. First of all, we'd like to see what individuals can do at this point. Although some of the points you mentioned, they're very key. I think individuals could pick from there. That's very key. Let's see what they could do, especially salary earners. Let's talk about salary earners. Then secondly, just a few months back, between the month of October, the last quarter of the year, it was also said by a report and by, the press, when we monitored, we saw that the IJGBs, influenced the rise of naira, because a lot of them were coming in with dollar. We did see that, and now we're approaching December again. Are we going to see the dollar get to 2,000? Experts are predicting that once they come again, because when they came the last time, it got to, we know what it got to, about 900 and so on, and then they left. It never came down as far as we thought it would, and now they're coming again in December. So let's have a forecast. Should we start preparing for anything higher, and then what can individuals do now as well?
Okay, great. So they were looking at the numbers for the first quarter of this year, capital importation. For those that are hearing capital importation for the first time, basically it means people that are bringing foreign currency into the country. And they saw a significant jump in it, right? So it's much, it was like almost 2 times higher than what it was in the Q1 of the same time last year. But please stay with me. That bulk of money that is coming in, what would have been great was if that money was coming into foreign direct investment, meaning things like real estate, real businesses, instead of it coming and going. But majority of it was coming into things like treasury bills, things like government bonds, meaning that once the investors or those people bring in, because you spoke about IJGBs and capital importation, once these people feel that there is any threat to the market, they are ready to take a flight and take their money back with them. Where am I going? Any money that is coming in that is not staying in the real economy, that they're not using it to build real business, then maybe they're building shop, right? They're building malls, they are doing things that will hire people, it has a chance of leaving. So if these IJGBs or capital importations or anybody is bringing money that is not putting it in the real economy, we can see it go in and out, and that's when you'll be seeing that currency doing this.
But you can see why they would not want to invest, why a number of them might not want to keep their money, because I don't know if we have, from your perspective, we have policies that would favor businesses strongly right now. We favor fresh investments right now from where you stand. We're seeing that a number of foreign businesses have moved to either other continents or have just left the continent totally. So I don't know how that is going to pan out. But how can businesses make the most of this time?
What businesses can do right now, especially small business, because MSMEs make about 90% of the businesses in the country.
Absolutely.
Number one, carry your team members along. Let them know what is going on. This is what is happening. This is how the business is struggling. This is how the business is doing. What can we do in order to stay afloat in these terms? Number two, start seeing your business as a global business. You're not limited to the Nigerian market. Is there anything that we can do to export, to look outside of Nigeria, how we can earn in foreign currency? You'll start being creative. Number three, we want to grab some revenue from the big guys. So let's say like a bigger company is doing all these things. Can we take one of their line of businesses, improve it, customize the experience and grab them from bigger businesses? These are things that we're actually looking for. And number three, more important than ever, this is time for businesses to ensure that their employees have insurance. Because let me say something, that little money in their hands, if they fall sick, you don't want to use it for take it away from there. So we're looking at this little resource that we have, how can we protect it? So this is the time to insure. For those that have inventory, people that are selling clothes, selling goods, go and insure your inventory so that if anything happens, you're not spending the money out of pocket.
Valuable
so we are
advice.
playing a protective game right now, securing, protecting the little that I have.
OluwaTosin Olaseinde, thank you so much for those very wise words. We hope that, there'll be better times ahead, but we just have to find a way to evolve with the times and the seasons that we're in.
Absolutely.
I hope that these conversations have been very helpful for you as an individual or as a business. We look forward to bringing more conversations.